So you're thinking about becoming an ICT teacher. Huh. That's pretty cool. We've got some really interesting stuff here from RoleCatcher's career guide that you really won't find just by like browsing around online.
Yeah,
It's almost like having like a personal career counselor
absolutely.
kind of right in your pocket.
Yeah, we're talking about information and communication technology, teaching those essential digital skills to secondary school students.
Mm-hmm.
And RoleCatcher really dives deep into what it really takes to thrive in this career path.
Okay, so let's unpack this a little bit.
Okay.
So imagine you are standing in front of a classroom of students.
Mm.
It's not rows of desks and dusty textbooks anymore, right?
Yeah.
What does a typical day actually look like for an ICT teacher these days?
Oh, you hit the nail on the head. It's definitely a dynamic field. Forget the chalkboards. Think interactive whiteboards, coding software, maybe even VR tools someday.
Wow.
You're designing curriculums around things like cybersecurity, app development,
Wow.
even a bit of AI using Python or Scratch, which is very relevant for this age group.
Yeah, that's way beyond what I was picturing
Yeah.
when I thought about what an ICT teacher does.
Yeah.
But it's not just about the technology, is it?
Right. RoleCatcher really emphasizes that you're not just teaching software,
Right.
you're teaching students how to think critically
Right.
and solve those problems using those tools.
That's so important.
It is.
Right.
And it's not just about getting kids ready for the next standardized test either.
Okay.
RoleCatcher found that ICT teachers actually have a huge impact on a student's overall academic growth.
Yeah.
Just by improving those essential digital literacy skills
Interesting.
that they'll use throughout their lives.
No, that's what I call an aha moment.
Right.
I hadn't even considered how important those broader skills are.
Yeah.
But okay, let's be real.
Okay.
Nobody goes into teaching for the 9-to-5 lifestyle.
Right.
So
Yeah.
what's the work-life balance really look like for an ICT teacher?
Let's just say get ready to embrace the power of caffeine.
Okay.
You've got your typical school day,
Uh-huh.
but then comes the lesson planning, the grading, keeping up with the ever-changing world of tech.
Sounds like it's not for the faint of heart.
It's true.
RoleCatcher gets into the nitty-gritty of those demands, doesn't it?
It sure does.
Yeah.
Large class sizes, diverse learning abilities, from tech whiz kids to those who still struggle to open a web browser.
Oh, yeah.
And of course, the occasional classroom management challenge.
Right.
It's not always easy.
Right.
But RoleCatcher found that most ICT teachers find it incredibly rewarding.
So it's all about those aha moments when a student finally grasps a concept.
Exactly. Seeing those light bulb moments,
Yeah.
that spark of excitement when they build their first app or crack a coding problem,
That's awesome.
that's what makes it all worthwhile.
Yeah, I can see that.
But let's move on to another crucial aspect, job security.
Okay.
What's the demand like for ICT teachers?
Yeah, you're passionate about shaping young minds. But you've got to be able to pay the bills, too, right?
Of course.
What did RoleCatcher have to say about that?
Well, the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics projects steady growth for secondary education teachers through 2029.
And that includes ICT specialists.
Mm-hmm.
But here's the thing.
Okay.
That data doesn't really tell the whole story.
Okay, what's RoleCatcher's take on this?
They emphasize that because technology is so deeply embedded in every aspect of our lives,
Right.
the demand for educators who can equip young people with those essential digital literacy skills
Yeah.
is only going to increase.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Think about it. We live in a world where knowing how to code is becoming as fundamental as reading and writing.
That's a really good point. It's not just about like preparing kids for tech jobs.
Right.
It's about preparing them to navigate the world around them.
Yeah.
So while we can't predict the future with absolute certainty,
Right?
all signs point to a bright future for skilled ICT teachers.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's say you land your dream job as an ICT teacher.
Okay.
What might your career path look like?
Yeah.
Do you just stay in the classroom forever?
Right.
Or are there opportunities to move up the ladder,
Sure.
maybe even into leadership roles?
RoleCatcher outlines a pretty clear progression.
Okay.
You typically start as an entry-level ICT teacher,
Okay.
working very closely with experienced colleagues, maybe assisting with lesson plans,
Mhm.
getting a feel for the rhythm of the school.
So you're learning the ropes.
Exactly.
Looking some hands-on experience.
Exactly. From there, you might progress to a junior ICT teacher role where
yeah.
you'll have more autonomy in
Mhm.
designing your own lessons,
Right.
and you can really start to refine your teaching style.
Right. So as you gain experience and expertise,
Really-
you could climb the ranks to intermediate and senior ICT teacher positions, taking on more responsibilities and leadership opportunities along the way.
Yeah, exactly.
So what's like the pinnacle? Could you become head of department?
Yeah,
Maybe even principal someday.
absolutely. RoleCatcher highlights those pathways as well.
Wow.
You could become the go-to expert for all things ICT,
Right.
shaping the curriculum for your entire school, mentoring new teachers,
Whoa.
maybe even leading professional development workshops.
Wow, that's really impressive.
Mhm.
You could have a real impact on how technology is integrated into the entire school system.
That's right.
And it goes even beyond that.
It does.
RoleCatcher found that many experienced ICT teachers
Yeah,
get involved in research, publishing their findings, presenting at conferences.
absolutely.
Some even consult with educational technology companies,
It's true.
helping to develop the next generation of learning tools.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So let's say someone listening to this is thinking,
Mm-hmm.
this sounds amazing, but do I have what it takes?
Yeah.
What are those must-have skills that make an outstanding ICT teacher?
Right.
Is it all about technical know-how?
Well, technical skills are definitely important.
Okay.
You need to be comfortable with various operating systems, software applications,
Right.
maybe even some basic coding languages.
Sure.
But RoleCatcher found that some of the most essential qualities are those you can't learn from a textbook.
Okay. I'm intrigued. What are they talking about?
They call them the soft skills.
Okay.
And they're what truly set great ICT teachers apart.
Okay.
Think about it. You're not just teaching machines. You're teaching young people.
People, yeah.
Exactly.
So patience is probably high on the list, I would imagine.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Imagine a classroom full of teenagers
Oh, yeah.
trying to master a new coding concept.
Right.
You'll need the patience of a saint.
Right. I can imagine.
But it's not just about patience.
Yeah.
It's also about being a skilled communicator.
Oh, right. Okay.
You need to be able to break down complex technical concepts into
Yeah.
digestible pieces that make sense to young minds,
Right.
some of whom might be encountering these ideas for the very first time.
Of course. And every student learns differently.
That's right.
Some might grasp things visually,
Right.
while others need a more hands-on approach.
Mm-hmm.
Does RoleCatcher address that at all?
Oh, absolutely. They're definitely on top of that. RoleCatcher emphasizes that it's so important to be able to adapt your teaching methods to those diverse learning styles.
Right.
Some students might really thrive with gamified learning platforms,
Mm-hmm.
while others need a more hands-on, project-based approach.
Right. And it's up to the teacher to kind of figure out
Exactly.
what's going to work best for each student.
And that actually ties into another really crucial skill.
Okay.
Creativity.
Okay.
As an ICT teacher, you need to find engaging and innovative ways to bring technology to life.
Yeah.
For your students, spark their curiosity, make learning fun.
Right. It's about showing them the magic of technology,
Exactly.
not just the technical details.
Precisely. And there's one more skill we can't overlook, flexibility.
Oh, I bet. Technology changes faster than almost any other field I can think of.
That's why RoleCatcher really stresses how important it is to be a lifelong learner.
Mm-hmm.
You need to be constantly updating your skills,
Right.
exploring new technologies, being open to new ways of teaching.
So you're saying that becoming an ICT teacher isn't just about, like, getting a degree
Right.
and calling it a day.
It's a commitment.
Right.
It's a journey.
Yeah, it's about committing to a journey of continuous learning.
Exactly. Attending workshops, going to conferences, taking online courses.
Right.
It's all part of staying ahead of the curve.
Right.
And making sure your students are getting the most up-to-date and relevant education possible.
And probably connecting with other ICT teachers,
Absolutely.
sharing tips,
Yeah. Networking is crucial.
troubleshooting challenges together.
It's a fantastic way to learn from other experienced colleagues, get new ideas, stay inspired.
This has been incredible. We've gone from picturing dusty textbooks to interactive whiteboards and virtual reality tools in the classroom.
It's pretty amazing.
It's clear that being an ICT teacher is about so much more than just like technical expertise.
It really is.
It's about shaping young minds, igniting passions, and equipping the next generation with these digital literacy skills they need to thrive.
Absolutely.
So as we wrap up here,
Okay.
what's the one thing you really want our listener to take away from this deep dive?
I want them to understand that becoming an ICT teacher is a really deeply rewarding and impactful career choice.
Okay.
It's demanding, but it's also incredibly fulfilling.
Awesome. Well, for anyone listening who feels that spark,
Yes.
that desire to make a difference,
Yeah.
we encourage you to go and check out those RoleCatcher excerpts we mentioned.
Yes, definitely.
They're packed with even more insights and practical advice.
Absolutely, yeah.
Who knows, you might just discover your true calling.
You might, yeah.
That's all the time we have for today's deep dive into the world of ICT teaching.
Okay.
Thanks for joining us.